Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 73 of Scion of the Dark House, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Gothic horror podcast. Okay. Um, because this is a Gothic horror podcast, there may be some things that come up to a line for some people, such as sexual content, blood, gore, talk of abuse and trauma, body horror, and other such things. If something comes up to a line for you, please take a break. Your support means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. So last time, the party managed to make their way all the way back to Darkmoor, relatively unscathed. Nothing else too interesting happened. They stopped at the Copper Cauldron to figure out what exactly their Beholder bits and Umberhulk bits had been turned into, to find that the proprietor was having a bit of trouble enchanting some of these items, and so they only managed to get Dust of Confusion. They then decided to have a spa day and went to the Mermaid Queen Spa, where they introduced the rest of the party to Ludla, the druid furbolg obsessed with crystals and oh my god, so fab. She gave them all magic drugs and they went on some interesting trips. Except for Rerek, who decided to have a Capri Sun in a hot tub. Lark journeyed back to his home, where he spoke with his sibling Rumor, who announced that he and Prank were both going to the Waltz of Shadows, as well as two more people were coming to the Waltz of Shadows that had never been there before. The Slime Lord Jubilex and the Lord of Decay, Zugdmoy. Additionally, both shared concerns about their newest sister, Panic, as they were unaware of where exactly she was. Percy, however, did not fare so well. He had a vision of him dancing with Edmund, whereupon it then changed to land in Whitehall, a very recent acquaintance, we'll simply say. After flipping back and forth between the two of them, it was revealed that the vision had been hijacked by Dyrnn, the father of all mind flayers, who was apparently another one of the voices in Percy's head, who offered him a deal. Instead of freedom, he would gain the ability to become one with Percy, and Percy would be the voice to all mind flayers. But he would be protected from the ravishing of Dyrnn, and he could have anyone that he wanted. He soundly said no, where Dyrnn announced that the great beholder, his sister Belladonna, had obtained her first Warlock, and that now Dyrnn was closer to returning than ever before releasing him back into his original vision, where he continued dancing through the night. They all left and had a brief discussion about what to do before heading home, where Percy confronted Belladonna, where she was thoroughly confused about the whole thing and accused the squid monster in Percy's head of lying. It seems that she was telling the truth, or at least believed what she was saying. The group then decided to just have dinner and have a nice long rest, where you have woken up in the morning. So, what would you all like to do?
Have some breakfast, say my bye-byes to my family, and I was kind of like, all right, well, we need to meet up with Ed, right?
Yes.
Or not Brennan directly. We're talking to Ed first.
Colin?
What? Oh, you're referencing
the pre-show that isn't
Twilight.
recorded.
Yes. So would I just kind of know where Ed would be right now, or should I just do a sending spell to find him?
It's up to you. As you are getting ready to leave, Belladonna does come downstairs. She is dressed very nicely. not exactly in work clothes, but in very nice clothes as she is gathering up a few things. And she's kind of
Is
just
it
getting
nicer
prepared.
than usual, or
Yes, it is
okay?
nicer than usual.
I guess I'll kind of comment, be like, "Well, you look nice."
Oh, yes. Today we're getting some official paperwork done for the what's going to go in where fairy godmothers was. um I'm sure you saw.
Yeah, I think you told us a bit about it, or somebody did. Um,
Yeah,
that's great. I'm glad you're getting back to making clothes again.
yeah, I'm really excited. So I guess I will see you later this afternoon.
Yeah. Good luck.
At that moment, there is a knock at the door, and she opens it and you see a very familiar halfling standing in the door with a box that he hands her. All right, here's the muffins that you ordered. Oh, Hammond, hi. Thank you. I don't remember ordering muffins. Well, either way, I thought you did, so I got them for you. I'll
I think I'll kind of step up. Like, Hammy, it's been a while. Hey,
yeah,
how are you?
doing great. Um oh, I guess your sister didn't tell you. I've been hired by her little friends get together thing that they're doing.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, we
okay.
uh we ended up hiring him to manage some of our shipping stuff, deliveries and things. Yep, so I'll see you at the building. And he turns and kind of walks down the driveway out into the street very
Okay.
happily.
I'll look over at Bell. I'm like, that was nice of you. He's looking a
Yeah,
lot better than the last time I saw him.
yes. We are um he's getting a good about maybe 2 gold a week from this. That's a little higher than minimum wage.
Well,
Um
I'm sure he appreciates the work.
yeah, hopefully his wage will go up. And she opens the box. Oh, blueberry, my favorite. And you watch as her face kind of changes as she, and then she just grabs you and drags you into one of the back rooms, shuts the door. You all watch this happen. All right, how do you make a warlock?
Uh, did you make a contract with Hammy?
He signed an
Oh
employment
no.
contract.
I mean, I feel
Did
like
that
that
count?
shouldn't just be. I mean, it was like a regular contract, right? Like a
Yeah,
you
it was
make
just a
muffins
regular
and we
employment
pay you for
contract.
muffins kind of thing.
Yeah, it was just a regular employment contract. But like, this is the third time something like this has happened.
With Hammy or just in general?
Yeah, with Hammy.
Okay. Like he's
The
brought
first
you things
time,
he shouldn't have known you wanted.
well, not necessarily. Um, the first time we were having a discussion on where to put some of the materials because we had already filled up the floor, but we needed the floor free. I was thinking about where to put it. We never decided. I went home and I was thinking, you know what would be a really great idea is if we put it up in Madame Drintel's office. None of us really want to use it. We can just turn it into storage. And I come back the next morning and Kalinda comes up to me and says, that was a really good idea. I'm glad you thought of that. And I was a bit confused. So I asked about it. And she said that Hammy had told her when they came in the morning that I had messaged him and told him to put everything up in Madame Drintel's office. I never did. The second time was when I made a mental note about fixing the stair that Madame Drintel broke with her shoe the day she fell down the stairs. That still hasn't been fixed. So I made a little mental note to have that fixed. 5 hours later, I come back in after I went home to find that Hammy had put in a work order for it with a local carpenter and said, "Thanks for reminding me. I was thinking about that." To me, I never messaged him about that. And this is the third time, because last night I was sitting in bed and I was thinking, you know what would be really nice in the morning before I go in? Blueberry muffins. And here he shows up with blueberry muffins.
Can we take a look at that contract?
Yeah, it doesn't really say anything. It's just a regular employment contract. I don't know why would that have done anything?
I might be right back 1 second. And I'm gonna step outside and I'm gonna message Lark. And with my
With the
new
message
fancy
cantrip?
message cantrip.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say, Lark, it's Percy. Could you come upstairs for a second?
You, Lark, you don't hear Percy say this. Instead, you hear in your head, "Percy would like to meet you upstairs. He asked me to ask you."
Ooh. I'll go upstairs, I guess, and just be like, just don't do that anymore.
Well, sorry, it's kind of a new. I don't know what this is all about. Could you come just take a look at something for me?
Percy, you're a doctor. If it's growing spots already, you should probably heal yourself.
Very clever.
It's fine. Drop your pants, I'll take a look.
Right, so I'm gonna open the door and take him inside with Bella. And
Oh, I haven't been with siblings in a while.
okay, it's a hard misreading of the situation here. No, we think Bella might have accidentally made a warlock.
Accidentally made a warlock.
Yes.
And you're sort of our warlock expert. So
I mean, I don't know if I'd call myself an expert, but I am one.
Okay.
So yeah,
So how did you become a warlock?
I swore undying fealty to an ancient evil fairy queen and pledged my undying servitude to her.
So that definitely didn't happen.
Was there any blood exchange?
No. He signed
Chanting
a
of ancient
contract,
rituals?
which is about the extent of what I can think of would have caused this. He signed a regular employment contract.
Let's have a look at it. Maybe he bled on it a little.
Well, it's at the office, so I'll hunt it down and you take care of what you need to take care of.
What makes you
Okay.
think he's your warlock?
3 separate occasions he's done things that I have not specifically messaged him for, claiming that I specifically messaged him for it. One of which was these. And she shows you the muffins. I didn't message him about wanting muffins, but he seems to think I did. Which means he must be reading some of my thoughts.
You'd be a very lousy patron if your warlock's reading your thoughts and it's not the other way around.
But they've all been commands. Or he's interpreted them as commands. Move things here. Get this for me. None of them have been like private thoughts or anything, or at least he hasn't told me about those. But it seems to be every single time I think about something like I want this or I think this should be done, it seems like he hears it and then goes about doing it. Because this is the third time something like that has happened since he signed the contract. Since he's been an employee of Black Swallow Fashions, this has happened 3 times. He's been an employee for a week and a half.
I mean, there's the honest test of, I guess, warlockship is if you can lend him any of your power. That's what makes a warlock a warlock. Our patron grants us powers.
All right, so, well, I'll see if we can put it to the test later today. I'm sure you have things you need to do, and I have a contract to hunt down, so I'll see you later.
Yeah, just let us know how it all goes. And don't make any more contracts for a while.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to not do that. Yeah. Well, I'll see you there. Maybe for lunch.
Sure.
Who knows? Maybe Hammy will bring me a salad or something. And she just walks out.
Bella, before you leave,
Yes.
what were you thinking when he was signing the contract?
That I'm glad he was an employee. He needs the job. He needs the work.
I mean, I'm just floating it out there. It seems your thoughts are influencing the boy, so maybe your thoughts when he signed the contract was all that was needed to seal the deal.
Well, that's terrifying.
Try giving him magic, see what happens.
I'm not quite sure I want to do that.
Oh, but I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast the nearest window.
Ah!
See if he can do that.
I'll walk over and mend it. Don't do that inside the house.
All right. Sure, fine. Yeah, I'll just have him blast a window
Maybe
out.
just start with a mage hand or something.
All right, we'll see. I've got to get to work. There's a lot of things that need to be done. So I will see you all later. And she walks out. Of course, Rerek and Alex, you definitely see that she is a bit perturbed as she kind of rushes out of the house. Well, the day is yours. What would you all like to do?
We have to go hunt down Edward now, right, Percy?
We do.
We need to follow where the seamen are.
Wait, is his name actually Edward?
No, it's
Yes.
Edmund.
Well, it's
Edmund,
Edmund. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, Edmund. Ed for sure.
Edmund.
And he is a sailor, so
Yes, we must go find the seamen because Edmund loves seamen. As
Yes.
much
Man?
I'm just gonna cast a sending spell to Edmund and say, "Hi,
Ask him how much
Edmund. We're
semen."
back in town. Where should we meet to talk with you about Brennan?"
We want your semen.
There's a pause before you hear back. Just meet me by the oak tree that we used to sit under all the time. That'll be fine.
I'll just be, why with all the romantic subtext? Whatever, sure.
I say this is the X, right?
Yes, this is the X.
classic emotional manipulation of disarming by bringing up good memories, Percy.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. But remember, we have to give him space because like it's gonna be very, very, very difficult for Percy. Anyways, let's go there and then bring up the fact you had sex for the first time since your guys' breakup.
It wasn't the first time. It's been like almost 3 years since we've broken up.
But are
It's the
you
first time
lying
you've had
right now,
sex
so you
since
know
I
it's
met
not your
you.
first time?
Oh, whatever. Sure, we don't need to discuss my sex life with people.
To be
All right.
fair,
But we
Edmund's
always
sex life
do
was
that.
thriving even when you were still together with other people.
You don't know that, and we're just gonna go and not discuss this any further.
The shade.
So you all head to the cathedral, and you would know that there is a courtyard with the oak tree that you all would sit under. It's a courtyard near the dormitories that both of you would have slept in. Of course, you didn't have the same room, but the rooms were close enough that you could sneak into each other's rooms through the branches of the oak tree. And of course, you would sit under it
Hot.
some nights or days. And yeah, it's pretty easy to get to. And you being part of the clergy, you can just basically walk straight through and they don't question you.
So you're
Sim-
sure you don't want me to curse him or make him eat shit or anything?
Maybe later, depending on how this goes.
That's not a no.
He didn't say no. Let's do it.
So you
Okay.
all make your way down to the courtyard where indeed you do see Edmund standing underneath the oak tree, kind of tapping his foot and looking around before he sees you and just kind of glares in your general direction, still tapping his foot.
Have I ever met Edmund?
Probably, yeah.
You probably
We dated
have.
for like a couple of years, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's Edmund! Yay!
Oh, you brought your cousin. Great.
Mm. It's been,
Yeah.
good to see you. Yeah. Mm.
All right,
Yeah.
so what's happening? Both me and Arthur get cryptic messages about Brennan in one day. What's going on?
Well, after Brennan's parents' death, he decided to join the church, and he did so very quickly, devoting himself to Saint Freya. I'm very sure that you've heard of Saint Freya, especially with the whole Yeti situation that happened not too long ago.
Percy once again remembers we still have not gone and dealt with the burr hags up there.
Yes.
It's been quite some time.
Yes. After that, a few days after that, he was crying because apparently Saint Freya had told him that his parents were not good people, as well as the grandmother that he or auntie or whatever that he believed that he had that visited him from Lockjaw was also not a good person.
Mm,
Saint Freya is
I
quite
can
blunt
imagine.
like that. Well, that happened. So now we have that on our hands.
So what are we just supposed to sort of be like, hey, sorry, your parents are dead? What's up? What are we doing?
Well, I was just a little concerned because of, well,
Side note, do people know it was no one knows it was us that killed them, right? I don't think
so
anyone
far
knows
you
that.
have not experienced consequences from that event.
So we're just gonna dance around that.
Wait, can Lark
Okay.
just be like, this sounds a lot like a you problem, not an us problem?
Oh, I think it is a you problem as well. And he pulls out and opens up a bank statement.
Hmm.
You see, being part of the clergy, we have a few privileges and advantages. Well, Brennan told me that you all asked for his parents' address the day of his parents' death. So I did some snooping around. And it seems that you had the misfortune of his parents being the first to pioneer the paper check for banking, of which, and he holds up the statement, you cashed within hours. Doesn't exactly take the smartest tools in the shed to figure it out.
Yeah, it doesn't take a sorcerer in the shed to show that you're just super obsessed with Percy here, and you need to move on with your life and get over yourself. Stop stalking my cousin, please. It is it's ungood. It does not not a good look for you. I'm just trying to just stumble and be like, just yell at him.
Yeah, and he is actually going to looking up something.
Did Alex just eat his foot?
If I can actually make it to the stupid spell. Make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Me?
Yes.
Wait, let me switch back to the thing. Okay. A 9 plus, hold up. Wisdom. Let's see, so 9, 10, 11. Got 11.
You should also add your proficiency because you're a wizard.
Oh, okay. 11, 12.
I think they're
13, 14,
proficient in
16.
wisdom and intelligence saving throws.
That'll be 16. And then do I also do intelligence as well?
No.
Okay, so it'll be
all right,
16.
So you passed as he kind of turns and he just points directly at the ground and just says, sit.
How about this? How about you sit on my dick?
Oh, that was adorable. Were you trying to
Well,
cast a
that didn't
spell
work.
on him?
Yes.
All right, Edmund.
Hey, Percy, we do love you. And we also love making fun of your exes, even more.
I'm so glad. What is it you want from us, Edmund?
Well, I just want you to take a little bit of responsibility because this whole situation is your fault. But I'm
It's
I
mostly
hesitate to
Arthur's
say-
fault, but
I mean, it's also the fault of your church for preying on orphaned children and exposing them to callous, careless gods who will reveal horrible truths to them. But I digress.
Problem.
Either
Which
way.
also patently false, accusing that poor Burr hag of being a bad person. She's just bad by your standards.
yes.
She killed an
Yes, she
entire
is.
village, according to Saint Freya.
Of mortals. If
Also,
I had
like,
a
who
penny
hasn't-
for every time, or no, if I had a copper for every time I've killed an entire village of lesser, well, I'd have quite a few coppers.
I mean, let's face it. Shit happens. Just, I mean, think of it this way. We all make
Okay.
mistakes. For example, your parents made a mistake.
Oh my, we can.
So did yours.
Percy's kind of
Oh my God,
always
he just
felt bad
hates
about the
it.
Brennan situation. So he's just gonna kind of be like, guys, look, Edmund, I've had some reservations about this for a while, but it was important that it was dealt with, especially since it was rather pertinent to Arthur here. But I have
All
felt
right.
bad for Brennan. He didn't choose to be a hexblood. He didn't choose for his parents to commit horrible crimes. So, how would you recommend we help him?
I'm sure there's something. Probably, I guess since you're so murder happy, taking care of those hags would probably be a good start.
Why
Okay.
should we- I mean, we could also just take him to be with his own people instead of yet again being raised by a predatory religious organization.
Oh, I just think that's just such a bad idea.
What? We can just. I mean, how many holes to the Feywild have we opened since we've started journeying together, Percy?
I think still just the one.
How many holes have we opened since journeying together, Percy?
Lot of
Not
them.
many more than that, I'll be honest.
I
Okay,
mean,
so you want us to kill these burhags and that'll make Brennan happy?
Well, I don't know if it'll make him happy, but it'll certainly possibly help with all of the damage that you've already done killing his parents. Maybe just a little bit.
I mean, the parents were in self-defense. They were trying to kill us, but
Oh, sure. I'm sure.
you know, Edmund, I hear the bedpans in the hospital are looking rather appetizing right now.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, no one likes you, dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
yes.
subtle, everybody.
Read
Very
him.
tactful. All right, we'll deal with the burhags.
Like, I don't even know you, but I don't like you.
Okay, cool. Great.
So
Percy, you've done so much better than this piece of shit.
Oh my god, and he was dreaming about him.
Ugh.
I didn't tell anyone about that. I
Oh,
did
well,
not bring
that was a-
up.
Well, there was the
Well,
dream that
okay.
you were hate fucking him in.
I don't.
I had a dream that I was
No.
murdering him in.
I don't think he mentioned that either.
No.
I don't even think he mentioned that he was. No, you guys knew he was dancing with Edmund in the ballroom.
Yeah, you
I
knew
was
that.
eating like
That
fruit
was
salad.
it. That's about the extent of how much you know he's dreamed about Edmund.
I need to
Edmund.
tell you guys about the important world-ending shit. I don't need to tell you about everything.
Well, you've done better.
So, thanks. All right, we'll do that. We have some things we need to take care of also, you know, what with the whole plane of existence ending and things. So
Yes.
we'll put that on the list.
All right.
The end of the world is drawing nigh, and you're blackmailing your ex-boyfriend to do your dirty work.
Well, I'm not blackmailing. I had no intention of going to the guards with this.
Sure, Jan, sure.
I didn't.
Uh-huh.
Look,
Can I
if they
roll
couldn't
insight?
figure this, yes.
The modicum of respect you almost had from me is gone now.
That's a 23 insight.
Interestingly, he would not have gone to the guards. Something about it, something about the way that he's talking says no, he had no plans on going to the guards.
Okay.
Look, if they
All
were
right.
stupid enough to not put 2 and 2 together after this obvious attempt, they don't deserve to know. That'll be on your conscience. And he actually puts the slip of paper away.
Do you think there would be any benefit? I mean, I'm assuming you haven't told Brennan about us. Or
Oh,
did he
no.
figure that out himself?
No, he knows. He figured that out. He was also smart enough to put 2 and 2 together.
Right. Well, do you think there's any benefit to us talking to him, or would that just sort of exacerbate things?
I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Well, I've only talked to him like once. Is he mad at us? I
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. He's been pretty distraught the past few days.
Do you think he would want to come with us to deal with the Burhags?
How dangerous do you think it's going to be?
Oh, probably very dangerous. They're Burhags.
Hmm. Well, I'll leave that up to you. I have things to take care of. And he just gives you a very sarcastic pat on the shoulder before turning and walking away.
Right. Well, I guess I'll just ask the boys then. Do we think we should talk to Brennan? Honestly, why am I even asking you? None of you have a shred of empathy in your bodies.
Okay, very
Yeah,
silly.
we them boys.
I mean, Percy, that's so harsh of you. The child is Fey. He should be in the Feywild. Let's take him there.
No.
Because your church has done such a better job of, yet again,
I mean, kind of.
preying on an orphaned child
He came here of his own free will.
and exposing him to a callous saint who, oh wait, had a Yeti eat her own priest.
How many of your queen's people have eaten each other? I'm sure it's much higher.
Well, that's to be expected. But this is a child. I mean, admittedly, he could also just be a snack, but he should still be raised.
I think I'm
right.
gonna go talk to Brennan. You guys can come if you want, I guess. But
Oh, I'm
Let's
gonna
go.
come.
I'll probably try killing you.
I mean, I'm a much more powerful cleric than he is, so I don't think he could achieve that, but
But I mean,
thanks.
that's what I'm saying is that like it'll be fun though to fight something. So like, let's go with you.
Well, the goal is to not fight. The goal is maybe he'll yell at us. I think that might be a little justified. But the goal is for him to achieve some level of peace with his parents' death.
That's all Alex says. It's just laughs.
So I guess I'll just head inside probably the dormitories. And maybe ask around where I could find Brennan. I mean, I could just sending spell him, but I don't know. That feels kind of weird. Hey, here to talk about how I murdered your parents. Kisses. Where are you?
XOXO.
Yeah, so you do
I heard of him.
find one of the obviously another acolyte, a trainee, who does point you towards a room. The door is ever so slightly open, and she's just says, I think he's in there.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know if he's up for talking.
Okay. I guess can I just like look at him and roll insight? Does he look like just based on vibe? Is he in a mood that I can talk to him, or is
Yeah,
he
you
just
kind
gonna
of look in. He does have kind of a little, you get the sense that not very many people would have started worshiping Saint Freya because all of the things in his little shrine are makeshift, not like proper ones that you or Edmund would have had, but like
yeah.
random mismatched crap. Like it's even like he has used the chair that he would have at his desk to be his shrine, and he is kind of kneeling next to it, hands folded, although you can't quite tell from the door if he's in the middle of prayer or just kind of like sitting in quiet contemplation. But he has actually now has the robes of Saint Freya on, which you haven't really seen around the church a lot.
All
But
right.
yeah, if you'd like to roll insight, you can roll insight.
Sure. That's an 18.
Yeah, you can see from his breaths, the movement of his shoulders, that he has been crying. And he probably is not in prayer. He's probably just taking a moment to breathe.
Gotcha. All right. I guess I might step inside.
So,
Yeah, he kind of turns a little bit, and yeah, he's definitely been crying. You actually see, interestingly, his tears, they don't just roll down his face. They leave like sort of the feathery, spiderwebby sort of marks of like frost on a window pane traced down his cheeks as the tears are rolling down his cheeks, almost the trails freezing on his face. But yeah, he kind of looks up and he's like, oh, hi. I guess you
Hi.
came to talk to me.
I did. I'm just I approach and I just try to be as like soft and sweet and empathetic as possible, and I'm like, there's not really a good way or an easy way for us to talk, is there? I'm sorry about my role in this, about your parents making the choices they did. You never asked for any of this. For what it's worth, I sincerely apologize. You are, of course, welcome to whatever feelings you have about me and my friends. We made the decisions we made based on what we thought was right at the time. One of my close friends here, if you guys are here, I don't know if you like entered the room or anything, but I guess one of my friends, Arthur, well, he has a lot of history with what hags are capable of and the people who follow them. So, well, we thought it was important to help him deal with that.
And you see, he's definitely listening to you, but he isn't making any eye contact
Yeah.
with you. He's just kind of, at this point, he's probably gotten off of a sort of kneeling position and has his knees tucked up to his chest with his arms wrapped around them. And you do see that more tears have started kind of pouring down his face. And yeah, he definitely is still kind of in shock. It's kind of the sort of after effect where it's not sudden and terrible, but it's kind of that remembering that that's there and then kind of having those feelings bubble back up to the surface, and that sort of like, oh yeah, that's there, kind of thing. And yeah, he doesn't really say anything. In fact, he just starts sobbing and just puts his head on his knees and just sobs.
Yeah, I mean, do I get can I roll insight to see if it would be appropriate for me to get closer, or should I remain at a bit of a distance here?
I mean, I'm going to leave that up to your character. What do you think
Sure,
Percy
I
would
guess I'll
do?
just ask. I mean, RA training coming in here, dealing with a traumatized person. I'll say, is it okay if I sit next to you?
And you just see his head nod.
And I'll sit down next to him, and I'll probably be silent for a little bit, and let him get some feelings out.
Yeah.
And I'll, after a little while, probably say, this is going to be hard for a long time, and I'm so sorry about that. And if there's ever anything I can do to help in any way, never be afraid to ask me. I feel that I owe you in some ways. My friends and I have been considering traveling to the Burhag Coven to take care of them. Do you have any feelings about that?
He just, at this point, he doesn't remove his face from his knees. He's just like, I don't know. I just feel so betrayed.
Who do you feel betrayed by?
Lark flies in sultrily.
Just everyone, my mom, my dad. I don't even think they're my real aunts.
Oh,
No, they are definitely not.
well, I mean, in a way they are now. You're one of us.
Through my don't make this worse.
Oh, Percy, I'm not making it worse. The child needs to adjust and adapt. Now, Brennan, darling. Lark's just he's doing his classic Lark thing. He's gonna start circling like the fucking eels from The Little Mermaid. The devil on a kid's shoulder, I guess. Everyone keeps telling you that what your parents did was wrong, and that they were bad people. But that's just one perspective. That's just the story that humans will tell you. But is it really so wrong for them to have fought to keep their child alive and healthy? You can't fully fault them for that if their methods were somewhat questionable, I suppose.
Lark would be a great politician.
Yeah, Brennan doesn't really respond to that. He just puts his face back in his knees.
I think that might be a little bit much for now, Lark.
How old is this kid, by the way?
He's like turned 18 very recently.
Oh, it's not a child.
Not a child.
This is
not a
older than
child.
Rerek.
I thought
Very
he was
true.
like. I thought he was like 2. Not 2, but like I thought he
2?
was like
You thought we were talking to a 2-year-old?
I thought he was like 12. I thought he was like Rory's age.
No.
Okay, maybe we'll cross that bridge at a later date then, Lark. Maybe we let him process for a bit.
I'm just, if we keep letting him process this way, it's just going to keep casting the Fae and his parents as the villains in the narrative, when it's just more complicated than that. The poor dears.
There's some truth to that.
Of course there is. A fairy never lies.
All right, well, Brennan, just to, I guess, plant a seed in the back of your mind. If you are ever curious about the Fae, as well, you are sort of Fae ancestry now, you can come to us as well.
What were your aunt's names, though, darling?
I'm pretty sure Arthur has them.
Okay. Oh, if we know them, I'm not going to push, actually. But
Yeah, you'd know them. You'd also know that these are the hags that are in league with Gryla,
Mhm.
who is trying to
The crazy
overthrow
woman.
the Witch Queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I don't know
So I
how
guess
Lark
they're
feels
not, like-
about the Witch Queen, but
I mean, she's the hag queen that's cool with the Queen of Air and Darkness.
yes. I mean, Gryla kind of is too, but Gryla's just batshit crazy and no one likes her.
Hmm.
Cool.
Gryla's a fugly skank.
But
Kind of,
this
yeah.
all might be a little much for right now, I think.
I'm just saying that before he sits there in judgment, just based on what humans keep telling him, he should live a little amongst his own kind.
Well, a little bit could very quickly turn into a few centuries or so.
Well, he's a hexblood now. It'll be naught, especially if he's in the Feywild.
Okay, let's not overwhelm him. We are probably going to travel to the Burhag Coven soon, and I guess I was going to extend the invitation to you to join us if you wanted. No pressure, but I thought perhaps confronting them might help in some way. It would be dangerous.
But how will he help us?
He's a low-level cleric.
Yeah, the response is kind of, having rolled so high, you can definitely kind of gauge he is a bit conflicted. He doesn't give a distinct kind of yes or no answer. He just kind of sobs a little bit.
Well, perhaps we'll hold off on our travels there until you decide what you want of that.
And he kind of nods. He's definitely gone nonverbal at this point.
All right. Well, I think perhaps it might be best for us to go now. Of course, if you need anything, Brennan, feel free to come by my family's home. They can get you in touch with me. I'll say my address here.
Yeah, he kind of nods. You're not entirely sure if he's taken that information in.
I'll write it
but-
down somewhere and leave it in the room.
Okay. Yeah.
So after Percy does the goody two shoes thing, Lark's just gonna start drifting away and just kind of like turn back and be like, Brennan, it's a confusing time in your life, a young man's life, when so much change and intrigue is happening to you. But deep down, I need you to understand a very, very plain and simple truth. You've been given a blessing that few on this pitiful rock that you call home have. Don't squander it. Don't hate yourself over it. Because, darling, you're not mortal, or not fully mortal anymore. And that's the greatest blessing that my people can give to yours. Relish in it.
You don't get a response. And I'm assuming this is where that interaction ends. All right. So where would you all like to go now?
Do we have any other business besides going to Bella's thing?
I'm still thinking about selling my pearls. My anal beads.
It's not beads, it's a pole.
My anal pole.
Ah,
Wait, can we go find Edmund?
Okay.
Sure. You can go find
Oh.
Edmund. I'll say that he's in the main
Sure.
sanctuary,
Stop it.
probably at a I forgot the name of his saint.
Saint Oscar, geez, the boat one.
Yeah, we switched it because it was going to be Saint Oscar, but then it's not anymore. It's Saint Ulrich.
There's another O.
That
It's a
is
U,
weird.
but
Let me see.
yeah, so he's
here.
probably at a shrine to one of the shrines because a lot of the saints have shrines in the sort of sanctuary. And he would definitely be at a shrine to Saint Ulrich, kind of standing there for a moment before he turns and okay. What?
We just wanted to let you know that. Oh, Percy.
What? Am I involved in this? What are you doing?
Oh, tell him we talked to the boy. We did the things. Everything's good. Everything's chill.
I guess we talked to
He
Brennan.
didn't exactly say anything.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna. We had a talk. It went okay.
It went one way.
All right. Great.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be like, so can I just like reach out and like just grab Edmund's hand and be like, I hope that you can
He
start turning
definitely
over a
just
new leaf
yanks
with.
his hand away from you.
Before he yanks his hand away, I'm gonna subtle spell bestow curse on him.
Oh, lovely. What saving throw is this?
I'm just trying to give a speech about like I really want you and Percy to turn over a new leaf. So I'm gonna cast it with a 5th level spell slot. It is a wisdom
Ooh.
saving throw though.
Wisdom say, yeah.
He's a cleric, so it probably won't work. But I'm gonna burn my 5th level spell slot trying to curse him for the day.
We're not doing anything
20.
today.
I thought it was the day.
He got a 20. Unnatural,
20.
but he got a 20.
Unnatural 20 beats it.
Do you want me to
Rerek.
do a important thing?
Do your important things.
Yes.
I haven't done it for the day, so let me do it.
He does get to add his modifiers, so there is a chance that even
Yeah.
if it's low,
He probably has like a +8 or something. That's what I have.
One's 11. One's a 4. I'll give him the 4.
all right, so then he definitely fails.
Yes.
There's no way he's beating what, a 19?
Yes.
Yeah, 19 is my spell save DC now. It's fine.
Yeah, because you have the blood well and the wand of the war mage, which gives you a +1 and +2. So you already have a bonkers high DC.
So
Oh my god, that's the only time I rolled something.
This has been a very roleplay heavy session.
Yeah.
So I know bestow curse normally has these like set effects, but it also says at the DM's option,
Yes.
you may choose an alternative curse effect, but it should be no more powerful than those described above.
Right.
I want to maybe like tap into that first one about an ability score to give him disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws made with it. I want to fuck up his charisma by just cursing him to look as ugly on the outside as he acts on the inside sometimes. That's a very Faye thing to do. Like throw an extra hunchback or maybe something that he wouldn't notice right away.
So like a reverse shallow Hal.
Yeah. I want to reverse shallow Hal him.
Interesting.
Because like,
How
I
long
don't
does
know.
that last?
Because I used a 5th level spell slot, it's going to last 8 hours.
Ooh.
Trying to think of what it would do to him.
Yeah, I want it to be a very like Faye out of combat use of it to just be like,
Yeah. So you watch as you've kind of bestowed this curse upon him. The air around him grows darker. His shadow grows deeper. Far, far deeper than what it would be in this sort of light. Its horns look a bit more twisted, and half of his face kind of transforms, gaining scars on it. And he doesn't seem to notice.
yeah. So Lark's just gonna be like, the longer you let all of this fester in your heart, the worse it'll be for you, darling. And I'm saying that as someone born from the regrets from people's hearts. Just think on the matter. Come on, boys.
I really even I'm just like I was just like and then just like goes up with his fist. I'd be like just silently just like raises it for like a fist bump. Like he just like
Oh no, wait. Oh, I don't have 5th level spell slots yet. Damn it. Because I'm multi-classed.
Right.
What can we do here?
You should
I
have
don't
at
wanna
least
be-
one, should you?
No, because he's
No.
multi-classed.
I'm level 8. Let me see if a level 8 gets a 5th level slot. I have to be level 9.
I think that's only 4th. I think you have to be level 9 to get 5th.
Yeah, I'm
Second
still gonna.
slot for one.
Yeah, I'm still gonna like make everyone else freak out when they look at him for the next 10 minutes. I'll use a 4th.
I can always polymorph him or something. Oh.
It's just not as cool as it lasting all day for 8 hours of the 5th. If I had a
Mm.
9th level slot, I could just make it or no, what is it?
It's either a
7th
year
level
and a day or
higher makes it a
forever.
full day. 9th level, it just never ends.
I knew it was either a year and a day or forever.
But yeah, so that's what I'm just gonna make him like utterly hideous for the next 10 minutes.
I just
Yeah.
love how like our party is just like, oh, you fuck with one of us, you get fucked with. You hurt our sweet cinnamon child called Percy, you're done for.
So you
hurt our main
head
character.
back out into Cathedral Square and off to ex-fairy godmothers. I am assuming, unless somebody has something to do before that.
Wait, can we like wait around to see if anybody screams in horror when they see him? Like as we're going out, I just want to like do the thing where I'm just like, is anybody screaming yet?
Maybe if he tries to meet with Brennan again, just to make sure everything's cool. And then Brennan's just
Yeah, you don't
traumatized
hear
all over.
anything as you leave.
Good one, though.
So you make your way to where fairy godmothers used to be, which indeed has been renamed to Black Swallow Fashions. The windows have been repaired, the boards have been taken down, the statue has been fully removed from the front of the building. No longer is there a fairy godmother waving a wand and spewing bubbles. It's just an empty spot where the statue once was. In the window, it says, "Coming soon, Black Swallow Fashions," with a very beautiful looking swallow diving directly downward, wings spread. And there are people walking in and out with things like boards and tools and all of those kinds of things. So what would you all like to do?
Go inside.
All right, so you head inside, and it seems like the entire first floor, the display floor that you have seen many times going to visit your sister, has been completely gutted. The wallpaper has been stripped down. You see the studs and nails and boards that make up this place. You have never seen it so empty, and it is very bizarre. But you head up the stairs to the main work floor that actually hasn't changed that much. The tables have been moved and cleared out of the way. No longer are there the two long tables down the middle of the room. It's entirely cleared. There aren't a lot of work people milling around, but you do see in the center of the room Belladonna, along with the other, 4 people, rounding out to 5, that used to be the highest of the top of the food chain fashion designers at Fairy Godmothers. You would recognize them, Percy. There is Maisie Spriggs. She is a human woman with a little bit of tan skin, brown eyes, mousy brown hair. She specializes in things like corsets and undergarments, mainly for women, but some for men. You see Kalinda Rusthair. She is a dwarf with very dark skin who keeps her hair in either cornrows or 2, they're not really braids, but they kind of look like braids. It's where there's ties making kind of a chain of sort of bubbles. And she's an expert in all things shoes. She knows everything about shoes, and she's also a very talented cobbler. There is Pierre Pouffon, who is kind of a little bit of an oddball. He was the color consultant for Madame Drintal. He wears black glasses that are very tiny. He has a swoop of black hair that goes over his eyes. He has a very high cheekbones. He wears a sort of white shirt with fingerless black gloves and a floral vest, pinstripe pants that are very tight to the skin. He also carries a cane, but he obviously doesn't need it. He is also, as you would be aware, a notorious flirt. He flirts with just about every man that comes into the store. However, interestingly, he has not flirted with you. And then there is Craig Marcus, who is a half-elf, kind of a bit beefy in kind of the frat boy way, where he clearly works out, but he also probably drinks a lot of beer. Sandy-haired, and he works in suit fittings. You also know that he's been dating his girlfriend Charity for 8 years. And he gets very annoyed when Pierre hits on him, but it's very clear it's just to kind of wind him up. And the 4 of them and Belladonna are all standing in the middle of the room as someone who looks very official is kind of discussing contract information with them. And some of them are like busy flipping through on clipboards and signing various documents and kind of looking through them as they nod and that sort of thing, as they're in the center of the room as the work people are walking around them doing various things.
Cool.
Wait, so the flirty one with the cane, what was he again?
He was a human.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, he's nothing too special.
I'm human and I think I'm very special.
Well, you are special, just not in the ways you would want to be.
Perhaps.
That sounds like something an elementary school teacher would tell a kid.
If everybody's
backhanded
special,
compliment.
then nobody is.
I guess Bella's not in here though, correct?
She is.
Oh.
She is standing with the group of them.
Cool. I guess I'll approach.
As you do, she kind of flips the forms back as she looks up, and she kind of whispers to the group, and Kalinda reaches up and grabs the clipboard and just tucks it under her arm as she just kind of makes a one moment gesture, and she walks over. Oh, Great. So I see you came. It's a bit early, but yeah. So we just have to wait for Hammond to come.
Did you do you have his contract? We take a look at that.
Yes, I do. And she pulls out a contract. It is one page. It just says at the top in big letters on a letterhead, Black Swallow Fashion Employment Agreement. And it's just a regular contract. You know, by signing this contract, you are under the employment of Black Swallow's Fashion. Here are your duties. Here is your pay. If you agree to this, then sign here. And it's signed by Hammond. And that's it. That's all it is. It is a single piece of paper. It doesn't even have a back to it.
Have you
Okay. I mean, it looks
Oh.
normal to me.
Why don't you try summoning Hammond?
Sure. And she kind of closes her eyes and at that moment the door bursts open and Hammond kind of struts in. Underneath his arm is a bowl and he's like, great to be back at work today. And she kind of opens her eyes. Here's the salad you ordered.
Oh my god, he actually bought a salad.
Mm.
And she kind of stares for a moment.
In front of my salad.
My God.
And he
Thank you. And
has-
she kind of gently takes the salad. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Real quick, Hammond, these, Percy wants to speak with you about certain things. We have
do.
a few questions.
Sure, yeah. Let's walk over here, like away from all of the fashion people.
Yeah. And you watch as Bella kind of still holding her salad kind of backs up back to the group.
Just gonna
And she very
look at
clearly kind
her.
of keeps an eye. She very clearly looks over and kind of makes eye contact. And you see all 12 of her cats that are just kind of floating and looking around, just all turn in midair and look at you. And it's kind of the way that they're positioned in the light. You actually see as they all turn, their eyes are just all green. Oh, we lost Alex.
Oh no.
And you just watch as their eyes turn green, like the reflective sort of thing when they're in the dark.
That's unsettling. Yeah, I kind of like glare at Bella for leaving me, but I'll walk away with Hammy and be like, "So you're looking great. I know it's been a little while since we've seen each other, but how have you been feeling?"
I've been feeling great. This whole steady employment thing has been working out a lot better than some of my family's businesses. So
Yeah, I bet. But Bella was telling me how glad she was to get you on board.
mhm.
She was mentioning you seem to be just really like a dedicated worker, I guess.
Yep.
Like you kind of anticipate things that she might need a lot.
She keeps saying stuff like that, but I don't know why.
Why is that?
Well, I'm not really anticipating anything. She asks me to do those things.
Like in a message spell?
Yeah, I hear her in my head. She explained that whole thing, and she's been working on that kind of stuff because I'm sure
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, she sent a few telepathic messages to me. It's like a little experiment to maybe help out, make sure that I'm able to do what I need to do, and she has a quick way of messaging all her employees. You know, so she sent a few, so it wasn't really, that weird when she was like, hey, perhaps we should move everything up into Madame Drintoll's office. And I made sure that happened because that was a really good idea. And then she
Right.
was really confused when she came back. I don't know why.
Is Percy talking? Are you talking to him by yourself or the rest
I
of
mean,
us?
you guys could have come along. I just didn't want all the fashion people there.
Don't let the fashion people in on it.
No.
God.
The judgy fashion people. Hammond, Hammy. What do they call you?
I mean, either one works.
No, darling. How do I put this? How grateful were you when you signed that employment contract? What was going through Hammond's head is what I'm wondering.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a steady job. It's not going to go under anytime soon, I don't think. So steady employment, that's good. Haven't exactly had that in years.
So would you say you were at the point of desperation before being given the job?
Not really. We Lightfoot scrape by. But it is nice to have permanent employment.
Lark's just gonna flying above the guy's head. He's just gonna look at Percy and be like, "Doesn't sound like he willingly sold himself to your sister."
No, I don't think so. Have you noticed anything strange happening the past week or so? Magical in any way?
No, not aside from apparently not telepathic messages.
So you can't
Right.
just, I don't know, cast spells now, perhaps?
How would you cast a spell? I don't know
it's
how to do that.
quite simple, darling. I'm gonna cast, I don't know what I could, I'm just gonna cast, I don't know, I don't know. If he's actually a warlock, what kind of cantrips would Bella give him? Why don't you try to message someone else here? Just think at them really hard.
All right.
Tell Percy to do something with your mind.
Did it work?
I mean, I'm assuming no.
No, it didn't.
No, I don't think it did. All right. Well, the only reason we're asking you, Hammy, is Bella's just feeling a little strange. She hasn't been trying to message you those things. It was almost like a subconscious thing on her part. So when you came in having performed the tasks she had yet to order anyone to do, she was just surprised.
That's weird. I thought she had better control of her telepathic messages.
Well, perhaps not. Perhaps this is something different. We're still learning with her.
I mean, could you potentially think really hard that you really want to pick something up or get something drawn to you?
I guess I'll give that a try.
I take out like a coin and be like, really want this coin to go into your hand.
All right. Does a 15 hit your AC?
Probably. AC armor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm 13, so yeah, that would hit.
So you take 5 points of force damage as a purple beam comes out of his hand and just blasts you directly in your hand, coin flying out of the way as you hear this loud.
Oh no.
There you go.
And at this
There
point,
you go,
everyone just like
buddy!
snaps up and looks, and Bella just rushes
Congratulations, it's a warlock.
Yay! We done
is
it,
that-
did it! That was awesome!
Did it hit anything? Did it break something?
Yeah, it
Or
hit
just
me.
just Alex's hand?
It just
Yes.
hits me. It's fine.
it did
I
leave
don't
a little
care.
mark on the wall. And
Percy will just kind of
coin
awkwardly
is, like,
walk
bent.
over and like mend it, trying to be as discreet as
Not even,
possible.
coin
don't,
is
don't even
also,
have
like,
Alex's
dented a
hands
little
have taken
bit.
more of a beating than that.
Yeah, I'm about to say thanks.
The coin that you have out is like bent at a 45-degree angle, and like the side that it hit is completely black.
And I like look at him and be like, okay, first of all, fantastic, congratulations. Second of all, ouch. Third of all, you owe me another coin? But like, that was lit though.
What did I just do?
Actually, just kidding. You
Magic.
barely make minimum wage. You do not owe me a coin. It's fine. Never mind.
Hammond, darling, that is what we in the biz call an eldritch blast.
Woohoo!
What does that mean?
It's a manifestation of your patron's immeasurable mystical energy channeling through you to kill things.
AK translation, a little bit farther to the right, and I'll be a goner.
I don't think it had that much. Then again, Mark looks at Alex and he's, I don't know. All you
No,
mortals
I'm trying to
look
give him
so
confidence.
And Bella kind of walks over.
So I think we solved the mystery.
Yeah, I think so. And Hammond kind of looks up. "Ah, what are those?" And he points up in the middle of the
Oh
air.
no, the cats.
Oh no, he can see them. Uh-oh.
The
That's
There's like
They can't. They can't touch you. They sort of don't fully exist in this reality. I think.
Just don't worry about them. They're fine. How long have they been there?
A long time.
Well, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. Perhaps. Has your business concluded, Bella, or is this still ongoing?
I think they can take care of that in my absence. I have the general gist, and I've signed all the forms I need to sign, I think. Or at least that's what I'm going to say.
Great. Why don't we have a little chat, Hammy?
Yeah.
Somewhere else, away from prying eyes.
Yeah, let's just use Madame Drintel's office. Let's just go over there. And you make your way up the stairs. And yeah, the stair that Madame Drintel tripped on and broke is still broken. And you make your way into the office and kind of shut the glass doors. I don't know who else is going in with you guys, but
I mean, I'm gonna go in just for fun. Also, because like these two fuckers don't know what's going on.
I have a vague understanding.
Yeah, and I just go in just because might as well. What else am I going to do?
all right.
So this isn't anything bad, Hammy. You don't need to be worried. But
So
you have somewhat unknowingly on both parts entered into a warlock contract with Bella.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not I'm not exactly sure how this is all going to work, but we will at least somewhat try and figure this out. Let's just keep this under wraps for now. I will try and not do anything untoward. How about let's just stick to your job. And if you get telepathic messages asking for salad, don't. I probably didn't send them. It's probably just the Warlock thing. Well, now that we have that mystery solved, I'm sure you all have things to do. I'm going to make sure that I sign all the rest of my paperwork, and I promise I will make sure that Hammond doesn't destroy anything else. Yeah.
Right. You're okay, Hammond? How are you feeling with all of this?
I have no clue. I am so confused. We'll clear this up another time.
Being a warlock is darling. I mean, admittedly, I do get contacted by my lady sometimes, but I mean, you get a ton of interesting swag, as the kids might say. I don't have telepathic abilities or whatever, but I mean, I can do this. And anybody within 10 feet of Lark, can you please make me a wisdom saving throw? Which I think is everybody.
22. That's the one I'm good at.
Hammond gets a 7, but Belladonna's unaffected.
Okay, so she's immune to being charmed.
Yes.
Damn, Bella.
Nino.
16.
And plus 2, 12.
So everybody,
and then
but
also plus 5 because proficiency. So plus 5 to that. 5,
so
15, 16,
still
17.
everybody but Percy and Bella is just charmed by Lark for a little bit. Yeah, because I'm gonna do the nice side of the Fey presence
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, Lark's like, he's looking radiant right now. He may actually be glowing a little. Like there's some fairy sparkles coming on him. So yeah, you're all charmed other than Percy and Belladonna, because Percy passed and Belladonna's apparently immune. And he goes, patrons can give you very interesting powers. I mean, look at me. I don't know.
We get it. You're pretty. You're always pretty, Lark. Always so pretty. And what are you doing with your skincare? Because you're glowing.
And then it wears off.
And it's like, God damn it, Lark. Still, what are you using for your skincare? Your skin looks great.
Oh, I use the blood of virgins.
Oh, good to know. Where did you get it from? Like,
Well,
do you just happen to?
From Virgin.
No, I wouldn't say Percy, but no.
oh, Rerek and Arthur are both virgins, and they never seem to notice when I take a little at the end of each fight.
Just a little tap. I'm just imagining it's like almost like a cider, like a maple syrup tap, just being like.
Wait, Arthur's a virgin?
Arthur's a virgin.
Yeah, we've canonically established this.
Mhm.
Okay, interesting. How old is he?
Well, anyway, I
There's an
think we should
incel.
all get our minds off of this for a little bit and get back to work. I'm sure you have some boxes that need to be moved. So let's hurry along. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have to continue this conversation later at home.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you there.
Yep.
And that is where we are going to end this episode on that interesting revelation. So come back next week as Belladonna grapples with having a warlock and what exactly might happen next. So I will see you all in a week.